Here we have the Amazon Fire HD8, brand new for 2022. So let's get it unboxed and see what it's all about. Box is what you normally get, a bit of information on the back. So play, watch, listen, read, connect. Fire HD8 brings enhanced performance to entertainment at home and on the go. Films, games and web content look and sound amazing in vivid HD and Dolby Atmos. Easily access films, series, ebooks, apps, games and more. Or go hands-free and ask Alexa to play music, videos and check the weather. A few specs on there. 8-inch HD display, 1280 by 800. So not full HD but HD. Front and rear cameras, hands-free with Alexa, hexa-core processor, micro SD slot up to 1TB, Dolby Atmos, and 2GB of RAM. Wow, that's a lot for 2022 in that not kind of way. And it just says what's included. So we've got 12th gen, 22 release, Wi-Fi enabled tablet, Amazon power adapter, USB-C 2.0 charging cable, and built-in rechargeable battery, sponsored screensavers with ads, which can be removed for a fee as usual. To open the box, we just peel back this bit of plastic and it should just open. And it has. And it just slides out. We'll say they've got the box designed pretty well now. Didn't used to be. And then we're just left with the tablet itself. So paper-based cover, not the usual plastic. And that just peels off like so. Then we have the denim blue tablet, an 8-inch screen. That was just me there, and we've got the front-facing camera. We'll look at that in a bit more detail in a moment. And in here, a few goodies. A lot of recyclable materials, which is nice to see. So we've got USB cable, USB-C, as we've had for a while now on these. And we've got a paper covered charger. I'll just rip that, but never mind, it's going in the recycle bin anyway. I'll just peel that off completely. It's stuck directly to the power adapter, which is unusual. And that is 5 watts. Important information. Quick start guide. And here it is. Already covered in fingerprints. I've hardly touched it. It is a fingerprint magnet. So have a look around the device, see what we've got. So on the back, more fingerprints. I've got a camera on the front, lots of fingerprints. Got the front camera there. So have a look around the sides. Usual drill here from an Amazon device. So we've got micro SD slot there, up to 1TB. On this side, we've got a headphone jack, hurrah, USB-C charging, microphone, volume rocker, lock / power button. On the next side, stereo speakers for Dolby Atmos, and nothing on the other side. Nothing much new. This is the default install. So we'll just go into the settings. We'll have a look at how much storage is available. It's using the latest version of Fire OS, which we've seen on the recently released Fire Tablet 7. This is just completely out of the box. I've not installed anything yet, and 2GB of the internal storage is in use. So fully available, if a 2GB wasn't in use, we'd have 25.62GB. So we've got about 23.5GB left. Can expand that, as I've already touched on, with up to a terabyte micro SD card. Got the Alexa controls down at the bottom, or smart devices control, whatever they want to call it. Other than that, not much difference between this and the 7, other than slightly more RAM and a slightly better processor. Processor wise, it does seem to be fairly slick, but you do get the usual thing that you get with Amazon tablets, where stuff starts to slow down pointlessly, randomly. I don't really know what the explanation is anymore, but it's annoying. App Store, very outdated, usual that we get with these. Nothing really new going on. You can install a few media apps, a few social networks, but nothing new. Still as it was about 5 years ago. But let's be honest, these are designed to use the Amazon ecosystem. So you're going to be looking at like your Prime Video, your Kindle, Amazon Music, Shop Amazon, that kind of thing. Even Freevee, which used to be called IMDb TV, I believe. But yeah, that is now called Freevee, which is basically ad-supported movies. So as well as getting your Prime Video, you've got your Freevee as well if you want to watch even more of a library of films with adverts. Screen seems fairly crisp. It's quite vibrant. You can adjust the brightness. And as you can see there, it's fairly bright, fairly clear. If you want to have a look at the Fire OS in a bit more detail, I recently reviewed the Fire Tablet 7 and there's a bit more info in there. Nothing much different here. The only addition on this one is the fact that you can go split screen with some apps. Doesn't work very well though if one of the apps is playing video and then another app wants to, it'll suddenly just close the other. So if, for example, you're browsing Twitter on one side and you're watching a film on the other, as soon as a video starts to play in Twitter, it just breaks. Just as a brief example of how the split screen operates, if you just press the square button at the bottom and the down arrow from the first app that you want to split, press split screen, and then you get to choose your next app, or you can go home and choose one. So if we have, for example, the App Store here and the web browser here, and you can do both at once. But as I say, only one app can play video at a time. Very, very frustrating if you're trying to browse social media on one side and watch a film on another, unless you, of course, turn off autoplay in whichever social media app you are using. So we'll jump in to the camera app and I'll just put up some examples of video that I've recorded with both cameras, and you can be the judge of what you think the video quality is like. Both cameras do 720p, so I'm looking at the screen here, so this is the camera pointing towards me, and this is the sort of quality you'd expect from a well-lit video call. As you can see, the image really does lack any sort of quality. You can see on my crap beard, you can't really pull out the hairs, it's just a big blur of stuff. And then the rear facing camera, just try and sort of move around this object, see if it keeps focus. It's doing a reasonable job, but you wouldn't want to save all your memories in this sort of low quality, particularly when you can get a much better device for about the same amount of money now. In terms of 3D gaming, once it's loaded, it's reasonable. Although it did just glitch a little bit then. But if we're being honest, looking in the Play Store, other than Minecraft and Roblox, there's not really much going on in terms of 3D gaming. Alright, maybe Lego Star Wars, that kind of thing. So it's not built for gaming. But I think we've already gathered that from from previous models of the Fire range. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that the Play Store icon is showing there. Does it work? Take that as a no. I will discover a way of getting that to work, but at this point, the usual method that I use is not working, but that doesn't mean it won't work in the future. Keep your eye on my channel for an updated tutorial. One thing I do like is the show mode. So you just switch it on from the top of the screen, and then you can do things like this. Alexa, what time is it in New York?
In New York, it's 1:37 p.m.
Lovely. And to disable show mode, you just drag from the top and switch it off. Job done. So if you're well into the Amazon ecosystem, using this as a Kindle is probably something you're gonna want to do. So let's just get into a book. This is a bit of a shameless plug. This is my dad's book, The Dashing Test Pilot Beneath Siberia. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to read it. So I'm just going to put blue shade on to stop the blue light from getting through. And again, we've got this weird orange look to it. It just looks terrible. I mean, yeah, it's great for your eyes, but surely by now there's a better implementation of this, or like use better screen technology. It just makes me want to vomit. And me being a lover of all things British, I have subscribed to it's a streaming service called BritBox. I think it's available not just in the UK. and it's brilliant. So if I wanted to get the BritBox app from the App Store, let's see if we can do it. So I'll just search for BritBox, and surprise, surprise, it's not there in the App Store. So you can get BritBox through Prime Video. So I'm logged in with the email address that I've actually subscribed to BritBox with. And if I just find and I type in BritBox, so I get a free trial. That's rubbish. I've actually paid to subscribe for this, but because of the way the Amazon ecosystem works, I can't actually use my BritBox subscription on it unless I cancel it directly with BritBox and go through the BritBox channel in the Prime Video store. That's just stupid. So just check out the audio from this. So the speakers are on the top. If you've got the camera at the top, so left and right, Dolby Atmos, it's firing away from you as a user if you're holding it in your hand. So I'll just pop it down and just whack it up at full volume. I'll just play one of my YouTube videos. The official Valve Steam Deck dock. Don't say that when you've had a few pints. Let's get it opened up. It's fairly loud. That's quite impressive. Just want to give you some thoughts. As you might have detected, being quite negative at points in this video. And I think, to be honest, I'm just a bit sick of Amazon not having any level of innovation with the Fire tablets. I mean, they are good for the price you pay, but they are so locked down to a point now where they're probably more locked down than an iPad or an iPhone, which is not something I expected at this point in time. I get why they don't have the Google Play Store on there, obviously to protect their profits. They want you to buy things from the App Store, but so many Android apps use Google Play services, and Amazon just haven't got that behind them. And what we're left with is just a bunch of games or apps that are just well, not necessarily rubbish, but no, actually, yeah, rubbish. The games, Candy Crush Saga still in the charts. I mean, I know there will be people still out there playing that, but there's a lot more games that are out on the Android platform that are a lot more advanced than that. The hardware, other than the cameras and maybe the amount of RAM, is very capable. We've got very fast Wi-Fi on there now, but there's just nothing you can throw at it other than Kindle books, some fairly terrible games, Prime Video. We've even got a low resolution screen, so it's not like Prime Video is going to be displayed in a high resolution. It is a HD screen, but it's not full HD, is it? I don't get what this device is trying to do now. Amazon just need to move on a little bit. They need to throw some sort of innovation at us. We saw with the last iteration of the Fire Tablet 10 that it was being punted as some sort of productivity tool, with Microsoft Office subscription thrown in there with one of the models with a keyboard. It's that terrible. Even on a cheaper tablet with a smaller screen, you're probably going to get more productivity out of it. It's driving me mad, is this. I'm really disappointed. I didn't think I'd get to that point with these, but they are just churning out the same old tablet over and over again with a slight upgrade, but an upgrade that you can't actually use for anything. Opening apps slightly quicker is not really what I'm after now. I'm after something that resembles an actual productivity experience or gaming experience that isn't like tied down to just this ecosystem that isn't really moving on. Anyway, rant over. If you like my video, then please hit like. If you didn't, click dislike. Welcome your comments down below. What are your thoughts on this? And if you've not yet subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.